you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super fine. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Uh, so my first question to you is like, what inspired you to start music, and what what was the inspiration behind that?
Sorry, I lost the connection. Could you repeat the question?
No problem.
Yeah.
Uh, what inspired your musical journey?
Oh, okay. What inspired my musical journey? Um, well, I've always been like a music. I've always been like passionate about music. Let's say like this. But I never thought that this could be like a career. I thought that I would have to study like a degree and to have like a normal like job and a normal life. So I never thought of doing this like seriously. So I studied like law. I even worked as a lawyer, and I really didn't like it. I didn't feel like connected to what I was doing, and I didn't feel that I was enjoying, and I just didn't feel like good in general. And I knew that music was making me to feel very good, and also I started producing music like very young because I was like very fascinated by it. And I knew that when I was doing music, I was like in the flow, when you don't think and you just, the time flies and you don't realize what is happening. So I really wanted to chase this feeling as much as possible. So I was like, okay, I quit from my job and I was like, what can I do now? So I started to just produce a lot to learn as much as possible and try to see if I could make this musical journey possible. And in the end, it happened. So yeah, I think it was like what inspired me is like I really wanted to do something that I was feeling connected with and something that I would really feel like passionate about. So this inspired me to put all this effort, and I found my way in electronic music that I've been like listening for a long time. Yeah, in the end, I'm very happy with it. Like everything is going great, I think.
My other question is, you you um you moving from your country to another country, how has that transition helped you and grow as an artist, and what have you learned yourself?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm in Spanish. I'm from Madrid,
Mhm.
and when I started in this DJ thing like professionally, I was based in Madrid,
Yeah.
and it was nice because I had my first opportunities. I met Symbol Community, which is my collective now, and that's where I learned like where it was like my training. And but then like I've always liked to live internationally. I've lived in many cities, and I was already like 3 years in Madrid, and I was like, okay, I think it's time for a change. So I decided to move to Berlin, which is like a very well-known city for electronic music, especially for techno. And the truth is that since I moved to Berlin, like everything like mm, went like way better. Why I think this? I think this is for many reasons. First, like in Berlin, you have like a big community that is into this techno thing, not only to techno, but especially about techno, house, electronic music in general. So it's very easy to connect there. It's very easy also to learn from others. Like in the end, like there is like the best artists playing there like every week. You have like events like from Monday to Sunday, and so by attending to these events, you learn a lot, and then you can translate this knowledge to the dance floor. And also, it's like well connected with other cities around. And also, let's be honest, like when you are from Berlin, also like people take you, when you are based there, people take you a bit more seriously, kind of like a Berlin verification, they call it. And also at the same time, I started to release way more. I started to play more gigs. And yeah, the truth is that when I was in Spain, I was like booked more for local gigs, I was booked in Madrid mostly. And since I moved to Berlin, because all these things together, I just started to get bookings internationally. I got booked like in Poland, like in other cities of Germany. I went to Dubai. Now I'm in South Africa. I'm in Johannesburg. So yeah, it really made an impact, I think.
Really. My other question to you is, you traveling all everywhere. Like, what has how has that helped you as a person, as an artist, develop yourself?
Yeah, so I'm still not the kind of DJ who is like traveling every single weekend. I'm not like one of the top players in the game. I think I consider myself one of still like a very emerging artist somehow. But it's true that I've been privileged to travel to some countries. And in the end, like I really believe that you can learn from everything and from everyone. And the more you see, the more you can learn, and the more you learn, the more elements you can integrate into yourself, and the
Mhm.
more elements you can translate to what you say, to what you can express. And especially when you go to a very different culture, when you go to a different culture, let's say it's like being somehow out of your comfort zone, and it's when you can really learn more, because when you are with people or in scenarios that are similar to you, they are comfortable. However, there is nothing new. However, when you go abroad, is when you actually are able to have like to make your perspective more relative, and to be able to have like a broader vision of things. So I think definitely this helps you to make music, because in this music, when we make music, is we translate what we have inside into music. And the more people I know, the more I travel, and the more experiences I have, I think the more I grow and the more I can express things in a more full way. I think that now I'm getting fuller and fuller and fuller, and that's amazing. I love it.
My other question to you is, what for upcoming artists that want to be in this industry?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
What advice would you have for people that want to be in the music scene? What do
Yeah,
you think?
okay. So, what advice I could give? I think first, the most important thing is to put a lot of effort into it.
Mm,
Don't try to take shortcuts, because it's not sustainable. Like in the end, if you want to have like a long-term career in music, you need to develop like a skill set. You need to have skills. For this, you need to put a lot of effort, and also to have like a lot of patience, to wait. If you don't wait, it's like if you don't wait, maybe like, you can get something there, but in the end, it will not be solid. So in the end, it will fall somehow. So what I
mm,
recommend is like first put a lot of effort into the music, have a lot of patience, don't rush, find yourself. And to find yourself, you really need to reflect a lot about, let's say, who you are and what do you have to say for others. And this is very related to be authentic, and to, in the end, when people like your music because they connect with it. And if you want to connect with others, you have to be authentic. Otherwise, you have like a mask and people don't see you. So I think that you really have to, you can get inspiration from others, but in the end, people will connect with you if you show them something true about yourself, and something that is based on quality and authenticity. And if you have that, people will love it, I think.
100%, 100% agree.
Yeah.
My question to you is, what inspired your project,
What inspired my project?
your latest project just released?
My latest project. Um, what do you mean by project? Do you mean like my latest song, my latest track?
Yeah, your latest
Ah,
track.
okay. Yeah. So my latest track is I made a remix for my friend Jaco. Jaco is this artist called Rogues, like Roax.
Mm-hmm.
He's the promoter of Underground Africa. I'm gonna meet him actually in a few hours. And well, it was very easy to make like a remix for him because you know when you do a remix, like the person who make like the original track, this person sends you like the sounds, you know, separately, and you have to somehow make a new thing with these sounds that you receive. And sometimes, you know, the sounds are not that great, so it's difficult to get inspiration. However, the music he sent me to make a remix, it was amazing. Like, it was exactly the kind of music that I like. The quality of the sounds were super nice. So I felt the inspiration came very easy. And I was inspired, like, he told me that he wanted to have like a more serious vibe for his new label. So I wanted to what was my inspiration was like my probably I was thinking a lot of in this club in Berlin in Berghain. In Berghain you have like this very like raw and dark vibe inside, and also somehow like a religious vibe inside. Is like very like primitive, you know. So I wanted to have something that translated this feeling, something that make you feel like emotional and deep and serious at the same time. Yeah, I think I'm very satisfied with it. I think I made a good job in this one, fortunately. So yeah, that was my inspiration.
Uh, makes sense. My other question to you
Mhm.
is, you mentioned underground Africa. So what is your prep process for that? What's your process for that? And what headspace are you prepping for? If
Sorry, I lost the connection again. What is my process for this gig, or what do you mean?
that's for this coming gig that
Yeah. Okay, so I'm really excited about this gig. Uh, when I tell people that I'm gonna play here in Johannesburg in this club called Ant Club, everyone is telling me like crazy things about it. Like the sound system is amazing, the people are like super passionate, like they are really involved and educated into this music, and the club is like very underground vibes. So I'm feeling actually like with a lot of expectations and even nervous, you know, for this, like more than usually because it's like a big thing apparently. And what I do is like I never like prepare fully my gigs. I don't have like a order in which I will play my tracks that is like prepared before. What I do is that I practice a lot at home. So then, since I prepare a lot at home, this allows me to improvise later in the gig, you know? So what I will do is like I do the closing and I will try to feel the vibe of the dance floor. I will try to see what I feel also and what I think can be better for this gig. And in that moment, I will decide. Like I will be like, okay, I wanna go more hypnotic, or I will go more funny, more funky, or more hard, or more soft. I will see in the moment. But if I will improvise because I prepare a lot at home. You know what I mean?
it makes sense.
Yeah.
I think about like you don't always have to go in as a DJ. You know, you just have to feel music, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Sometimes I feel that if you prepare too much, you are more in your head and you are not like in the flow. So in the end, if you want to translate feelings to the dance floor, you need to be able to feel what you are doing in that moment. And if you prepare too much, like if you make like a list and then you will be like, okay, I will play this after this after this. For some people it works and that's okay. For me, it doesn't work because it makes me think too much. So what I like is to improvise, and in this way, I can really have fun and to translate this fun feeling to the people.
My other question to you is, in your opinion, what makes a great song?
What makes a great song? Oh wow. Um, well, it really depends, you know, because it really depends on what kind of song. If I will say what makes a great techno song, um, Well, I could speak about technical things. For example, I think make to make like a great techno song, you should do first like it should have like a very good mixing. It should sound like powerful, like clear, with energy. Because I receive a lot of promo material and the songs are nice, the tracks are nice. However, they are not well mixed, so it sounds kind of weak. So this is like one of the main elements that I think it should have like a great techno song. At the same time, this is not enough. I think it should have somehow like a feeling, it should have like a soul there, it has to tell something. It has to have like dynamics, like even if it's like very loopy techno, like very like constant thing, maybe you have like an atmosphere that takes you to a different scenario. Maybe it has like a sound that plays, changes slightly, but makes you feel like hypnotized. Like it should be a great techno song should be able to make you feel something and to make you like get lost in this feeling.
And I also think for me, what makes a great song is the feeling that you have when you listen to the
Yeah,
song.
exactly. That it does that there is like a that the song there is like a spirit in the song, The song is telling you something. It's not like generic.
100%. In your opinion, like what in your opinion, you being in Spain,
Yeah.
how how has that translated with the scene that we have in South Africa? That how has it translated with you the scene at your house and in Spain? How has that helped you grow, and how has that helped you develop as as an artist, and how has that in general, if that makes sense?
Yeah, 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 yeah. So you mean like the fact that I'm Spanish, like how this in general has impacted me, and how can I like how yeah, like what are the effects of being Spanish and how this affected as me as an artist, I guess, no?
Yes. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Because sometimes it's not easy to be be a certain language and translate.
yeah. So I don't know, like I think in Spain we are very like in general, there are exceptions, of course, but I think we are in general like very warm people, and we like to chill, to have a good time, to like we don't like to be cold. We like to be with friends. We like to have like experiences, and I'm speaking in general, of course. Like there are all kind of people. Um, and I'm a very like I really love to be with my friends, and I really like to. I think I'm like a very chill guy. Let's say I don't know if where it comes from. Maybe like to be Spanish has impacted me somehow, and how this has translated to the music. Well, I think my music, the techno I do, on one hand is like it has like this dark vibe, like because I like it. On the other hand, it's like fun. I always like to make something that is fun, something that you will hear it and you will be like, oh wow, like what a nice sound, or what a nice groove, or wow, I didn't expect this, or wow, this. Um, and so I think this kind of warm and fun personality is translated to the music. And also, I think that the fact that I grew up in Spain, that I had like very good friends there, and I'm like a very like, I think I'm like a friendly guy thanks to them and to my family also. This has helped me a lot when, for example, when I travel abroad, when I meet new people. I love to hang out with others. I love to just have a good time. And this actually helps you a lot as an artist because let's be honest, like a big part of uh, being an artist and to make it into this music thing is like the networking. And I think that networking sometimes it feels like a bit like you are meeting people because of interest, but for me networking is like you are developing genuine connections, and these genuine connections it takes you far. For example, here I'm in South Africa not only because of the music, but because I really connected in a very real way with one of the promoters, and we stay in touch like for a long time. And in the end, because we became friends, like this happened. But this is thanks to the music, and also thanks to uh, have big friends. So yeah, I think in the end this helped so much, and to be like friendly and to be like always up to a chat. And yeah, I don't know, I think so.
Second to you is what what do you think is missing in the music scene that you think that we need more of?
Yeah, that's a tricky question. And I think now that in the scene we are very focused on ourselves. Like I, as an artist, we are usually very focused on how we can grow, and every decision is made based on how this will be good for us. Like how this will be good for me as a person individually. And we are not thinking that much now in how we can contribute to the scene. This could be like a 1 hour conversation. I'm not really sure how to put it in a few words. But what I feel is that now there is no sense of community. It's more like very more individualistic, and this leads to competition and not to cooperation, and this leads to that we are somehow losing the values in which the techno scene was built before.
Yeah.
So I think that we really need to think how our actions impact our community and our scene, and not to think only about ourselves and how we are going to grow as an artist individually.
Yeah, yes, I understand. So you're basically saying, so I'm trying, yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you're basically saying there's no community, there's no like sense of family, or there's no sense of.
I mean, I was not speaking in absolute terms. Of course, there is a sense of community sometimes, but
Yeah.
sometimes not. And what I feel is that we are losing it. Like I see now that a lot of collectives are competing,
Mm-hmm.
and they should be cooperating. And also like at least I don't know, like in Berlin or Madrid, like there is like um, I will try to take as much as possible, and I don't care about how this is gonna impact you. And what we need to think about is that the more we give to the scene, the more the scene will give back to us. So I think we need to think more about ourselves in terms of community, and now we are very focused on ourselves instead in terms of as individuals. Like my Instagram, my followers, and my gigs and everything, but I'm nothing without a proper scene and without either big or also small collectives. So I think we have to support also small collectives. Usually, when you are growing as an artist, you only want to play for the biggest parties, for the biggest, you only want to release for the biggest labels. And I think this is not the way to go if we want to contribute to the scene. I also, of course, I want to release in the best labels, but I also want to support to the small ones and to the people who are like starting, who usually are the more passionate people about. So I think we really need to support like each other, and especially the people who are in the beginning.
100%, 100% agree. My last question to you is, what legacy would you like to leave in the music scene?
Legacy. Wow, to be honest, I never thought of that. What legacy? Well, I hope that I inspired others to make music. I try to make like this kind of futuristic sounds, like weird things in my music. So I wanted to contribute with something new to what was already there. I hope that this, made someone somewhere in the world like, wow, this is so cool. I want to do it also. And, this is how the wheel continues, how everything's continue.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm not very worried about my legacy, as to be honest. I'm just want to make other people happy with what I do, hopefully, and that makes me happy. So if I make that, I'm satisfied already.
I think you're doing incredible, and you're changing people's lives with your music.
Oh,
So
thank you. I'm not sure so much, but yeah, thank you.
no problem. Thank you so much for taking the time. Bye.
Thank you, Silvia, for having me. It's like it's my first interview. Did you know?
What?
Yeah, it's my first interview.
Wow, interesting. Okay, interesting. I
So yeah,
I
thank you so
really
much
hope
for
you
the
enjoyed
opportunity.
it. I was helpful to you.
Thank you. Yeah, it was.
Bye.